What's going on, boys and girls? I'm back again with another top string tutorial. This week on Top String Tuesdays, I'm going to be showing you how to string up an Iroquois top string. So very similar to the Huron top string that I did last week, but the Iroquois only uses one piece of top string, so it's not going to be held quite as tight to the top of the head. But this is probably the quickest and the easiest way to get one of these drop top strings in your head. So if it's something that you're interested in, it might be something worth trying out before you take on a more sophisticated pocket like the Huron pocket. So when I do a drop top string, I like to skip 3 sidewall holes. So I go 1, 2, 3 down. I'm working here on this gate torque, which has a number of sidewall holes and top string holes. I string it pretty much the same way that I would a normal stick, even though it's got all the added sidewall holes. So when you're getting started, one thing that I like to do is tie up the top of my mesh where I want the top of my pocket to sit. So you can do that just by cinching down your sidewall on either side and maybe stringing up 1 or 2 sidewall holes, and then you can go ahead and get started with your top string. So like I said, I skip 3. I start with 1 piece of top string because the Iroquois only uses 1. And you want to make sure that you're using a 9 diamond row across the top. This is really important because you want 1 diamond to sit untouched in the middle, and we're going to skip every other diamond and every other top string hole as we're lacing this up. So I'm going to start with my piece of sidewall in the first hole on the head, and I'm going to go in and around twice just to make it nice and tight. And then again, I like to string from the back of the head going through the face. So if you're following along, that might be easier to do. So I'm going to go through that first sidewall hole. So you can see I'm in 1, I've skipped 1, 2, I'm on the 3rd where I tie up my mesh. And I'm going to skip 1 diamond that I've cinched down. So I'm on my 2nd diamond on my 9 diamond row. And I'm just going to go through the back of the mesh, out the front, and then I'm coming back around this loop that I've just created to the back. So I'll show you a close-up there. I've come through the back and back around underneath that string that I went through the first diamond with, and then I'm going to go 1, 2 over on my top string. On a typical head, you won't have as many holes up top, so this would just be your first top string hole. And I'm going to go same thing through the back, and then underneath that mesh, or that top string, excuse me, so that I'm creating the V of the Iroquois top string. So you can see I've gone through the front and then through that loop that I just created. And then I'm going to skip a diamond, go through the back of the mesh again, and again up the back side. And then this is where we cross over. So I'm going to go through the back and around the loop just like I have been. But this time, instead of going back down to the mesh, I'm going to go skip 2 top string holes on the torque. On a traditional head, it's just going to be the next hole. And this time I'm going to go in reverse. So I'm going through the front of the head, and then in through that loop that I just created. So you can see, instead of going back to the mesh, I'm going back to the top. And we flip it, so instead of coming through the back, I go through the front, going the rest of the head, so that we stay consistent. If I go through the back, our knots aren't going to be the same. So I'm going to go down to the mesh. Remember, I want a diamond in the middle that's left untouched, so I'm skipping 1 diamond, and I'm coming through the front again because we're going opposite of the way that we went before. And then I'm coming in front, through the front, through that loop, pulling it nice and tight through the front. And once I've gotten all the way across, I'm just going out the sidewall. I'm going to knot that. And it's that simple. So that took, 4 minutes for us to string up. Really easy to get in. You can see the knots look the same going both directions. We've skipped that hole in the middle. I've got it nice and tight. You can sort of adjust the tension to make sure that your triangles are the same. And I'll probably even tighten this up a little bit before I go out and play with it. But that's it. That's your Iroquois top string. Thanks for watching. Check back next week. I'm going to mix it up a little bit with a drop top string and some leathers. And thanks for checking out the site.